You also mute Jason's.
Yeah, just because, there's just gonna be a lot of explosion sound effects.
Oh,
Looks like, is he practicing? Or is that a go? I think that's a go. Okay. Um,
I don't think it's a
yeah,
go. They started at different
uh,
times. Or,
well, I mean, yeah, not only did they start at different times, but it was also, I just thought it was because it was 8 a.m. exactly, so.
or maybe there was a little bit of a delay. I mean, we might as well.
They haven't started their timers yet, so I don't believe this is the go, but I'm gonna check the Discord to confirm. Nothing I can see. I'm gonna pop into theirs real quick and ask him if this is the start. Hey guys, are you actually starting or is this a test? Yeah, I believe that was a go then. Okay.
All right.
They were just off. So I know that Wonderis had started first, and then Cade had started second, and OJSN got in there, but they're about the seconds off, so hopefully that won't matter too much.
Right. Well, it looks like Jason is already up against the Bullet King.
I believe someone had already killed their boss. Yeah, Wondrous had already killed the boss. So, but he seems to be going back, probably to go get some safety items.
Yeah, we'll probably be seeing runners be a little bit more careful. It's gonna be a little bit more of a survival, just because you don't want to basically die in this sort of situation.
Oh, he went back to go find the shop so he could buy health. But he did not have enough money, so not really sure what the end goal of that one was. He did lose about 20 seconds trying to do that, though.
Yep. CadeMofu as well as Jason have now reached the second floor, or excuse me, Wonderis and Jason have both reached the second floor, and CadeMofu is on his way.
It's just now dropping in. Yeah. Wondrous is really far behind, missing that half heart, but the Brown should have dropped for him. Oh well.
Well, Jason actually got Polaris, which is a fantastic weapon for speedrunning. Still at level 1.
That's actually one of my favorite guns, even casually, because if you can go without taking damage, it becomes godlike towards the end.
Right, just
once it hits that third stage, it is unbeatable. What's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. Do you actually know what the damage change is? Because I believe it goes at the first level something equivalent to your basic weapon, second level double, and then third level something crazy like quadruple the second level damage.
Right, at level 1, Polaris does 5 damage per shot, and at level 3 does 20 damage. So really being able to get that to level 3 and sustaining it is super important.
Unfortunately, one of my biggest problems I have with that gun is just maintaining ammo, but with the new patch and how generous they are with drops, I don't think that'll be too much of an issue.
CadeMofu actually just had to deal with a mini boss, which he actually got a map from, so although that was a time loss, he does know which way to go now.
Oh yeah, Die, that was, yes, you are correct. Thank you. 2, 6, and then 20 for the final one, but yeah, once you get to that third level, it becomes godlike. Okay. Wondrous is getting into the boss, but oh, he did end up getting a heal, so that's good.
Also going up against the Gorgon, a little bit slow, as CadeMofu also reaches the boss. However, for him, it's going to be a Beholster.
Do you think Cade's going to go for the destroying the I-beam strat, or is that a little bit too dangerous for a rat race?
He definitely could try that. He wants to stay as close as he can, just so he can get both the melee swing as well as the
Does he have the big boy?
Yeah,
I did not see him pick that up. Wow, that is actually really great. As long as he doesn't use that in rooms, that is going to be amazing against bosses.
Yeah, Jason also having to go up against a mini boss right now.
Yeah, both of them. I had seen Cade also get the mini boss as well. Unfortunately, Wondrous was the only one to not get it, so he is in a very strong lead right now.
CadeMofu looks to have a very nice situation for himself, as he's already on the third floor, as well as having Big Boy, which is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, the big boy.
For...
I think the big boy is what sets him apart right now. Unfortunately, just peeking over at OJSN's screen, he is looking pretty hurt. And if he,
Yeah, now just reaching the second floor boss. Having to go up against the Gorgon.
As we said, that Polaris gains most of its damage from not being hit. So because he took so many hits from that mini boss, unfortunately, he kind of had to restart that whole thing.
Not only that, but he's down to 2 hearts as well, so he's not gonna be able to just drop heart containers in order to get back to full.
Yeah, unfortunately, had he had 1 heart missing, he could have. But... And the only reason you want to do that is simply because the bullet, when it is at full health, it lets you do a cool little beam.
Right, and that's super important. Blasphemy is such a key weapon for the bullet.
I believe for Wonderis that is a set piece room, and that means, yeah, exactly. So he's right next to the boss.
Yeah, Wonderis having a sizable lead right now, going up against the tank.
Once again, that hot air balloon relies entirely on not getting hit. So if he does get hit, he actually loses all the ammo for that balloon AK. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jason, unfortunately getting Corsair. He might as well have gotten nothing.
Oh, what are you talking about? Corsair's not bad.
Yeah, sure, whatever you say. As CadeMofu also reaches the 3rd floor boss. While Jason just gets to the 3rd floor.
Yeah, unfortunately, OJ-san just been taking a little bit too much damage, so it's been taking a long time. Wow, Wonderis already killing that boss. Yeah, that hot air balloon, oof, pretty nice.
Yeah, each of those little tornadoes do just an extreme amount of damage.
I think they do pretty much normal amounts of damage up until the point where they hover on top of it, and then that's when it builds up damage.
CadeMofu actually also got Polaris, but realizing that this is kind of lower floors, doesn't even bother picking it up.
Really? It's actually pretty surprising. I mean, 4th floor and 5th floor have so many enemies, I think you could make up for it.
It's possible, for sure. But it seems as though just not bothering to take the time.
I guess. I mean, in a race situation like this, anything that can even increase your power a little bit, in my opinion, is worth it as long as it's no more than a few seconds.
It looks like CadeMofu actually changed out the big boy to get the compass instead.
Oh, absolutely. That compass is going to be extreme for routing. I mean, it basically makes routing mindless. Although, unfortunately, he did just kill himself, so he's going to lose the beam. But he's got plenty of really nice weapons, so it's not that big of a deal. And Wonderis actually came up on the set piece for floor 4, so he is on the way over to the boss. And wow,
CadeMofu also just reached it as well.
Yeah, this is an extremely close race. It's insane.
So right now we can tell they're about 3 rooms away from the boss.
Oh, I just want to pull your attention down to OJ-san's screen.
Yep.
Yeah, did you see that black box that he just saw and had no keys for?
Oh, I did not see that. Super unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately. And he did not... Oh, he did buy a key. Okay, I thought he...
Oh, he actually got the BSG, which will be able allow him to instantly kill every single room.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to drop Reloaded, of course, because why wouldn't you?
Right, and Wonderis actually reaches the 4th floor boss, being the priest.
Yeah, but I don't think that Mofu... Yeah, I was about to say Mofu was right there, too.
CadeMofu unfortunately getting a gun mimic, so he's going to be forced to use that. So gun mimics were introduced in the AG&D update, and they're basically... there's a chance that whenever you pick up a weapon from a chest, it changes into a gun mimic, and you're forced to use that weapon until it decides to change.
Really? Wow. I don't think I've gotten one of those yet. I haven't been playing too much of the new patch, but that sucks.
Well, let's see what kind of a fourth generation Wonderis gets.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like OJSN is just now getting to that third floor boss. So, as long as nobody else, or assuming no one else dies, I think we can kind of put him out of the race.
Wonders actually looks to have gone the God generation here, which is two exits from the start. Oh, unfortunately, this is a
I was
corridor.
about to say, but 2 could always lead back into the first route, and I think that's exactly what's happening.
Right. So Wonders basically has a pretty bad 4th generation in which he has to go through an extremely large number of rooms.
Yeah, that 5th floor gen, that really makes you or breaks you in most of your runs.
And it looks like CadeMofu actually might be having the God generation here.
I don't know. I guess he didn't check the other path, so we'll never know. But
we should be able to see based on the second room the CadeMofu
whether he gets the hammer bro or not.
Correct. While Jason just reaches 4th floor, but it looks like he went the right way as well as having the God generation. So he's only gonna have to go through maybe even 3 rooms to reach the dragon.
With an ideal, yeah. Go Wonder, be a good boy. Yeah. Wonderis has a huge cult following. Yeah, that's really bad. Wonderis, you poor guy. So many things were promised, so many things fell through. Okay, I don't know, like I said, the 5th floor really makes you or breaks you, so technically OJ-Sun could catch up if he gets a really nice 4th floor, but we'll have to see. He does have that BSG, so I'm not going to count him out yet.
Yes, the BSG will allow him to quickly clear out the rooms. As well as...
I mean, it's...
And then of course...
It's almost as good as the bracket key.
Right. And then he will also might be able to get another God generation and could potentially catch up to Wondrous. It looks like CadeMofu actually got some phantom rooms before reaching the dragon.
Oh, nice. That is beautiful.
Definitely a good situation. It all depends really on what weapons he has and how much damage output he could do.
I don't think he has that much damage output, but for a player like that, as long as he doesn't get hit in bullet form, he should be able to clear this dragon pretty easily.
Fortunately, Jason actually has to deal with the
door.
Yeah, right, the door mimic, which has a larger amount of health than all the other 4th floor bosses.
Wonder he bounced off an enemy into the lava. You know, that's something you don't want to see, especially when you're playing the bullet. Oh, okay, he's getting to Dragon 2. I think that he has a significant lead right now, simply because of the fact that he actually has some good weapons, whereas...
yeah, it looks like CadeMofu actually has to resort to the Brick Breaker as his weapon of choice.
Yeah, he did take a hit, so unfortunately that is going to be significantly slower.
It looks like Jason has just defeated the Door Lord, and let's see what weapon he gets. He gets the Cold 45, which happens to be on a Mimic. A pedestal mimic, so he's just gonna ignore that instead.
Man, they love messing with you in this new expansion.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of new mimics were introduced in the AG&D update. And it looks like CadeMofu actually reaches the 2nd stage at the heart. I don't think he'll be able to get a single wave. Or a one cycle.
No way yeah, there's no way he's getting the 1 cycle with just his guns, but... So, as long as Wonderis doesn't do something extravagantly horrible, I think that's gonna be it.
Alright, so CadeMofu not being able to get the single cycle is gonna take another 15 seconds or so, but however, Wondrous, just based on the health of the dragon right now, it doesn't look like he'll be able to catch up.
No, but Wondrous absolutely will be able to get a 1 cycle with that balloon AK, so if he has to go into a 3rd cycle, I think, yeah, he does have to go into that 3rd cycle. Oof. So it's actually gonna be close. This is closer than it looks.
Right. Unfortunately, not able to see what kind of generation that OJSN got as he got into the forge.
He had a 2-way out, but the downway was a complete dead end, I believe.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, did he lose his hot air balloon on the last second? I missed that.
That might have been possible. Having to switch over to the Betrayer Shield.
So now he will have to 3 cycle this. Yeah, that popped his air balloon. That's sad.
As CadeMofu will look to take 1st place right here.
Oh wow, OJ-Sun.
OJSN already.
Up quick.
Unfortunately, it looks like he got it.
He got the God Gen, but he got a Curse Dragon. Oh, the sad is real. That's rough. How much? What curse did he get? I don't even remember him picking up that much curse.
Well, right now he actually bought something from Cursula. I'm not too sure what he bought, but he also has a Huntsman right now.
That Huntsman rifle, which would give him, I believe, 4 curse. Yeah. that dragon's pretty rough cursed, so. Yeah, Cade finishes up and Wonderis finishes up, so that's gonna be this race. So then it's gonna be them going into the finals 1-on-1. So.
Right. So just talking about the Jam Dragon, so there's a sort of hidden stat known as Curse in Gungeon, where the higher amount of curse you have, there's all these sorts of benefits and losses that you have for every level of curse. And one of those is having jammed enemies and even jammed bosses, where if you reach a curse level of 6, there's a chance that you'll have a jammed boss, which is signified by a reddish glow to the boss.
And all of his bullets, which will do one full heart of damage rather than just a half, obviously. As well as most of them have. Do they have different patterns, or am I thinking? I don't know.
No, they'll have the same patterns. However, they will have a 20% extra health compared to before.
Okay.
And although in a normal situation, Jason would have two hits in him, because of the fact that this dragon is jammed, he only has 1 hit left. Otherwise, he'll unfortunately die. But this is a pretty risky situation for him.
Yeah, we watched most of the other runners go without taking more than 1 hit of damage. So.
Oh, unfortunately, getting hit right there.
Oh, that's rough. Kenya did not complete. All right. Yeah, getting that jam dragon, unfortunately, that was kind of rip right there. 20% more health, and you're taking a full heart damage. Even if he was able to kill it, I don't think.
It's hard to see what he bought from Cursula. I know he stocked it by
the
the
Huntsman rifle.
Oh, it was?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. I know that the Huntsman's one of her favorite rifles to sell.
Oh, keep going.
I was literally just gonna say it's already cursed, so you're kind of double dipping on that.
Right, and actually, I saw where he got the other curse. He used one of those. He used a shrine, which also gives him
ammo.
Right, which also gave him, I believe, 3.5 curse. So he had 7.5 by the he reached the.
So had he bought the Huntsman rifle from Cursula, that would have put him at 7.5, which would have almost guaranteed at least 1 jammed boss. So
Correct.
That was really, really risky, but he had to catch up one way or another. So.
Correct.
Okay. So I believe our other 2 runners, yeah, OJSN just dropped, so the other 2 runners should be getting ready to go anytime now.
Right. I'll have to set that up real quickly.
You can probably keep it. I mean,
oh,
it's not like you have a second layout for just 2 people, so.
Oh, well, actually, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Oh,
I just have to get their screens on correctly, and we should be good to go. Hopefully, they won't start too quickly. If you do see them start, let me know, and I'll just immediately switch back to the other form.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think you got at least a minute. They seem to be doing something. Yeah, so the this race today is just a, it was kind of a testing, also building up some hype for the real race, which is happening next Sunday at the exact same time, which is a 6-character race, which is going to be amazing. 2 hours. If you die in that one, you're not really that far off of anyone else because there's 6 different characters you got to be running through. So I think that race is going to be very, very interesting. So if you guys want to tune in for that one next Sunday at the same time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. Universal. So. In the meantime, we are going to go into round 2, I believe, any second now from the Discord.
I don't have things perfectly set up, but this is gonna be good enough.
Let me check. I haven't even. Okay, looks good. Yeah.
Fortunately enough, the start didn't really matter too much, as the differences in times were larger than just a couple seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say, Wonderis was the first one to go, so had he won by a few seconds, I think we would have actually had to go into the replay on that.
Looks like they're both ready to go.
Yes, they should be getting started anytime now, so. Being that close at the very end, do you think that'll change any of their strategies? I'm sure they're in the Discord. They were talking about how close they were to actually beating it. So
Uh, it's really hard to say. They still need to play
I
carefully. It's really the beginning that's gonna be a little bit difficult, because if you do take half hard damage before you have any weapons as the bullet.
That's it. That's rip. Yeah, that's at least a minute time loss overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Wonders is gonna go ahead and skip. Be a little bit more risky with this one, simply because he had just lost the last one.
Right.
Does not like to lose.
We can actually. Do you want to talk about guard flashing?
Yeah, so that was a glitch that Wondrous. Oh, that is okay. That was about 2 seconds. Excuse me. I'll continue my thought in just a second. But that was another 2 seconds where Wondrous had ran. Anyway, so guard flashing was actually a glitch that Wondrous and my roommate had developed and perfected, where essentially what happens is you have your sword out, you face the other way, you swing it and guard flash at the, or you swing it and you reload at the exact same time while moving your cursor from one side to the other side. And for some reason that causes, Wondrous could go into more detail about this, but for some reason that causes a huge mini blank to spread along the edges of where your sword beam is actually going.
Oof.
And this will destroy, yeah, I saw that. So it takes the properties of your swing and of your sword beam, combines them together into one ultimate kind of.
Wonders is in
attack.
a really tough spot right now. He might even consider restarting.
Yeah, if it's this early, although we'll see. I think he's waiting to see what drops he gets from this boss, but he is going boss rush mode on this guy, just getting up in his face.
Right, and CadeMofu is actually almost done with the Bullet King, the easiest spot to take care of on the first floor.
Yeah, especially with this bullet.
See,
I don't know, with half heart, you just gotta take the L, I think, at this point.
right.
And just restart.
So CadeMofu actually got the proton backpack. Right. So CadeMofu got the proton backpack.
Wonderis was peeking. Continue.
Which isn't gonna be too useful for any room clearing, but will be very nice for bosses.
Yeah, especially if he ends up like Wondrous and takes a hit on a boss, that'll be a great backup.
Yeah, Wonders having to resort to the Helix, which actually is a decent weapon.
If you can space it properly, which is the most difficult part about it, but if you can space it properly, it does a lot of damage. Okay, so he's not too far behind. He just picked up a heart, so he's back to full, so that'll help him clear, but unfortunately he doesn't have any kind of backup weapon.
It also looks like he got the early shot generation, which is very nice for him. To be able to find a shot very early.
Oh no, that's the Macho Bryce. I can't remember. Does that slow you down but increase your damage or something?
So basically, every time after you dodge roll, your damage will be your first shot will do 33% more damage.
Oh, okay, interesting. Which is great for Wondrous because he does like to roll.
It looks like he is going up against a mini boss. Every mini boss has 450 health, multiplied by the floor health multiplier. So, however, they don't have any damage caps as opposed to the normal bosses. So, being able to make quick work of him by easily doing a high amount of damage.
Absolutely.
And CadeMofu has reached the second floor boss, being the Beholster.
Wow, that was a really good generation for him then. He's already there, but Wondrous shouldn't be more than, I believe, 2 rooms off with this generation. Yeah, it should be all the way at the bottom. Maybe one more room. Taking a hit, so he's switching over that proton pack, which is just amazing damage as it locks on. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Second room out. All right, easily.
Oh.
Oh, the door. We saw that just murder OJSN's run earlier, so we'll see how. Fortunately, it is on the second floor, which means he has significantly less health, but still.
Still a very annoying boss to have to deal with. Well, CadeMofu actually got the strafe gun, which is an S tier item, which can deal a large amount of damage.
Yeah. Personally, do not like the game strafe. I like the gun strafe though. Just abandoning his helix gun. I believe he was trying to drop reload and kind of got caught.
Right. And so one of the main strategies for
Nice.
speedrunning Gungeon is this thing known as gun dropping, where if you drop your
yeah, we have
weapon,
an excellent-
it basically reloads as soon as you pick it up. As opposed to just reloading it, which takes a fair amount of time depending on the weapon.
Yeah, especially with I mean, you'll mostly see it with big weapons. Like for example, when OJSN had that BSG, he was constantly drop reloading because I believe the reload time on that is somewhere around 2 to 3 seconds, which is ridiculous.
Right.
So yeah, he was drop reloading that a lot.
And with effective gun dropping, you can basically just have an instant reload.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the main mechanic of reloading to counteract someone's damage does not exist.
Who knew it was that easy? All you had to do was just throw your weapon on the ground.
Yeah, if you just throw your gun on the ground, pick it back up, you got a brand new clip. I don't know who gives it to you, but...
CadeMofu actually reached the third boss just now, getting the Mind Flayer, and just using the strafe gun in order to do as the weapon of choice.
Insane amounts of it. Yeah. Yeah, they're still not too far off of each other. It's really going to come down to generations still, even though Wonderis had a really poor floor 1.
A lot of this, even though it looks a little off right now, the 4 generations really matter a lot.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest time sink and time loss, or time gain. Not sure why Wonderis went for the blue chest. They have one of the worst drop tables I think in the entire game. But I guess he needed something.
And CadeMofu just beat the Mind Flayer and got the Gamma Ray, which he's not even gonna bother picking up because it's a pretty bad weapon.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we can actually, I guess, talk about some of the weapons that they were able to pick up. Looks like, well, actually, Wonderis has now just reached the third boss and is using the Winchester, which he must have gotten out of the blue chest.
That's what he got out of that blue chest. Yeah, not really gonna help him in this one. Fortunately, I believe the sword would actually do more damage than that sawed off. But
Oh no, it was the Winchester.
oh yeah, the Winchester. Okay, still. The Helix is definitely going to be your best friend, especially on this boss who has such a huge hurt box that you know, you're just going to easily be able to hit him with both beams.
Right. Definitely should be using the Helix right now.
Okay. Oh, that was a pretty quick boss either way.
Oh.
Getting another sword. Oh, but he actually pushed through the Mimic. Okay. I think that was a good enough weapon drop to force yourself to get hit for it.
I'm not too sure if he actually picked it up, but
yeah, I believe he did get it. Or actually, you know what? I don't know anything about those. Those. Is it like a chest where if you try to open them, you still don't get anything, or what?
Right. So those are called pedestal mimics, and so in the AG&D update, they introduced those pedestal mimics where your your boss trap could potentially be a mimic, and so there's actually a visible difference between a pedestal mimic and a normal pedestal. Unfortunately, he was not able to see it right there. Usually he's able to see the difference.
Now, do you get the weapon drop and then the mimic comes after you, or is it like a mimic chest where it doesn't matter, you're not going to get it till you kill him?
Yep, you're not going to get your weapon until you kill it.
Okay, alright, yeah, I did not know that. I thought you would at least get it, but no, he took the damage, unfortunately, and ended up having to drop his perfect bullet shell that he got from the boss after taking another piece of damage.
Right, and CadeMofu has now reached the 4th floor boss, and interesting if you don't know about this, your melee swing for Blasphemy actually can hit the priest.
Yeah, for some reason, with melee weapons specifically, bosses maintain their hurt box even after they go invisible, and they would normally be immune. Cannon Balrog has this problem a lot, Priest has this problem a lot. Off the top of my head, I can't think of the third one, but I'm pretty sure there's another one that goes invisible. But, yeah.
Right.
Which is great if you're playing as the bullet, but not really too helpful for anybody else.
Also, another interesting thing is CadeMofu might actually be able to kill the priest while he's invisible, as he does. But while you can do that for the priest, you actually can't do that against Cannon Balrog.
I was about to say, from what I remember, I didn't think you could, but I could just be thinking of the Balrog.
And so we can see what kind of 4th generation CadeMofu is going to find.
Yeah, if he gets anything better than the worst generation, this is looking heavily in his favor. But he's got some good weapons,
It looks like,
and he's got his full health. But no, it's not a good generation.
right. So every time you see a single exit from the forge room, you automatically can tell it's going to be at least 7 rooms before he finds the dragon.
Yeah, simply because you don't know where you're going to end up hitting the shop versus hitting the dragon. And the thing with the 2 paths are, if you hit a shop, you need to go the other way, basically. But unfortunately, with 1 path out, there's no real indication.
Wonderis actually did a very quick job of the wallmonger right there. Only getting the laser rifle though, so.
Yeah, but that Helix gun, yeah, that's really been saving him. Is he gonna go for the chest? He gets the unnecessary curse and doesn't get the weapon because it was garbage.
Right, and we can see what kind of 4 generation that Wonderis has. He also only has 1.
I think my favorite is the 3-way out, just because that's just a huge troll.
Right. The other short generation is the 3 exit from the start for the forge. Unfortunately, we did not see that from any of the runners in this race. Though I believe we'll be bound to see one next week.
Maybe I missed something, but it looks like Wonderis has this weird yellow glow around him. Did he pick up a passive I missed?
No, that's the effect of the Macho Brace. You can.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So it was a passive. I had already known about it, but forgotten completely.
Right. And CadeMofu now has to go up against the mini boss as well.
Ooh, and someone's jamming him as well.
Right.
So.
Gonna have to take care of him first before taking care of the mini boss.
Yeah, otherwise he's gonna get that extra health, which is very annoying. So that mini-boss alone may have been enough for Wonderis to completely catch up after that terrible Gen 1 fight.
Yep, definitely. And now that CadeMofu is down to 2 hearts, he's not going to be able to use the... drop his heart containers to go back to full health for the Blasphemy. But he does have enough... Yep, he does have enough good weapons, though, to not even have to bother using Blasphemy.
I think he has at least 3 good weapons on him right now, so he's pretty much set with or without that sword.
Right. While Wonderis needs to be a little bit more careful about what he's using. Only having basically Helix as his only weapon, and he wants to save that for the dragon.
Absolutely. That's looking pretty promising for Wonderis. I think he might be hitting the dragon if he picks the correct way. Yeah, this room should either lead to the shop or the dragon, so... Both of them getting a very, very bad forge generation, so
Yep. However,
not a whole lot.
it's not gonna be as advantageous for. Be more advantageous for CadeMofu or CadeMofu, just because he had an earlier start on the forge.
They're going for the crown. Interesting. Oh boy, I probably would have just saved my money for that extra heart I'm gonna take.
Well, CadeMofu actually reaches the dragon right now.
Oh, okay, I didn't even notice that. Awesome. Yeah, so he's got a definitive lead over Wonderis, who is still messing around in the forge. Yeah, there's that heart I was talking about. Yeah.
Actually,
Okay,
Wonderis,
beautiful.
Wonderis now just reaches the dragon. I believe the reason that he actually picked up the crown and the guns is because it can effectively one cycle the heart.
That's true. Yeah, I've never really used the crown. Pretty garbage, what I remember. Although they are going pretty close right now. This is actually a really, really good race, right at the end too.
Right.
Yeah, so Wondrous is basically doing the standard bullet routine, getting right up to that edge and just unloading with the crown, seeing as how it shoots at least 4 bullets towards the dragon at any given time.
Right. It really looks like it's gonna go down to whether or not CadeMofu will be able to one cycle with the strafe gun.
I know the strafe gun has the potential to, but
As CadeMofu now just starts the
Wondrous
second,
just pushing through.
and well, Wondrous is right about on the edge. Oh, there he goes.
He's
into the second
right
stage.
on it. Yeah, this is all going to be about who has to go into a second phase.
As long as Wondrous is positioned correctly, he should be able to do it with the crown of guns. And I'm not exactly too sure with CadeMofu, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Nope, it has to go into that second phase. Let's see if Wondrous can.
No,
It's going fast, but I don't think so. Yeah.
There's a really specific spot.
It's gonna be Cade. Yeah. Yep. There's the kill. Oh, these are just seconds apart. That's brutal to watch.
However, Wondrous did get a little bit of a time start, so we might actually see. They might be going off the in-game timer actually instead of real time. So
no, yeah. Well, I was also keeping in mind that Wondrous was about 2 seconds ahead. So
it's all gonna see how optimal they'll do this last part.
I don't think I've ever seen it come down to the last stretch being win.
Oh, this is super close.
Yeah, but you have to remember that OJSN did start about 2 seconds after Wondrous, so he is significantly farther ahead than it looks.
We'll see what CadeMofu's time is
In-game
first.
timer.
Yep, before Wondrous's.
And 16-13. His should be about a 16-17, I believe.
1603.
1603.
Very interesting. It didn't seem like there was a 10-second difference.
Yeah, I wonder how we're gonna go about that one.
But that should be it.
Yeah, are we gonna go by real time or are we gonna go by in-game time?
I can't
Uh,
hear anything.
We can switch over into the racing channel and see what they're talking about.
Yeah. Let me pop into the other one, into the runner channel. I'll be right back if you want to talk about how that last fight
I
went.
can't hear anything.
Right. So if you were able to see the beginning of the race, you could see that they were a few seconds off when they started. However,
So who's the final winner?
however, at the end,
1603.
it was 1603 in game time as opposed to 1613.
Also, I can't hear any question yet.
watching, and you started about 2 seconds before the other guy, and he won before you. So if we're going by real-time attack, it was
Yeah, but
absolutely Cade who won.
Yeah, but we decided to do it by IGT.
I understand, but I'm by watching it.
Alright, so the difference is that there's a real time versus in-game time, and real time is
Nico,
basically
yes,
how
I can
long it
hear
takes you
even
to
though
do
are
it
lighting up
in real time, basically. where you can pause, however,
but
where
the
you can't
one
pause as
by
often.
IGA.
Whereas if you're using in-game timer,
I guess we
you
go with
can
FI.
pause, or you can have,
I really don't understand how you got a 1603 though.
or
That's the
you can
thing.
pause, or
Like,
you
no one
can,
tried
whenever
to
you're
tell
standing
me
the
how you
elevator
got
at
a
the start of a room,
1603.
you
guys
you don't actually
almost
start your
framed
in-game timer
for
as well.
most of it. 10-second difference did not seem possible.
Yeah,
To see, I need to check.
Okay. There's actually a huge debate going on right
Actually,
now
I'm
in
surprised
What-
that
channels.
they're so
So
close to each other. That's insane.
yeah,
What's crazy?
I
Because, I
don't
would have
understand how
definitely
that was a
won,
10-second
without
difference
any
at all.
correction if I won
That was
cycled,
frame
but
for
I was
frame,
standing
and
incorrectly.
Wonderis is claiming victory because of in-game
I
time,
was standing in the wrong circle in one
and
cycle.
I don't see it.
It's hard to
Or
tell,
zero
but
tracking.
if they are going by in-game time, Wonders may have paused more, may have taken more time inside the elevator itself, and just reduce that in-game time as opposed to real time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think the other one. Why wouldn't you watch in-game time? Simply because of the fact that this is a race, where yeah, it's a race. So
Right, if you are, if you
No,
were
if this were a
truly speak,
submission, you would absolutely go by the in-game time. But as being a race,
where the
you know,
hell
we
did
usually
I
go
make
by
up
real-time
time in
attack.
IGT?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know for sure that I started like you
Uh,
said go. So
I believe that ideally
seeing
you will
those
go by
starts,
in-game
the
time here,
8-second
so
difference for sure.
it should be Wonders' victory.
well, see the other biggest, yeah, just because it's a one-character race, I think it would be. But when we do the 6-character race, it's about real time
Correct.
as well. So
Wait,
I guess
am I
we'll
using
just
the
go
wrong
by the rules of
microphone?
the submission and say that Wonderous won technically by almost 10 seconds somehow. So
Yep. Right.
easy enough. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure
that
you guys
was
check out next
pretty good.
Sunday when the
That was really
real
interesting.
race is happening. That's the good one. That's the 2-hour race. That's the 6-character, 3-man race happening next
Nico,
week.
I can't
Yep.
hear you
Sunday,
again.
8 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Universal.
Right. Yeah. Please check back in next week, January 27th at 1 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a 6-character race. Any percent run with these same 3 runners. Also, please check out the channels: twitch.tv/CadeMofu, twitch.tv/Wonderis, and twitch.tv/ETG_OJSN. I hope you all enjoyed the race, and
English commentary room right now. I wanted
we'll
Alrighty.
see you next week.
Actually, I think we're set up real quick for a quick interview with Wonderous to explain what just happened there. So, Wonderous, if you want to take it away.
I'm pretty sure it was just a stream delay difference.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yep.
Unfortunately, though, we were just discussing this with next week's race. It will be by real-time attack. So, because it's a 6-character. So we're going to be going
We'll
off
have
of your
timer
timers
set
and
up and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So there was no timer for this one, so we couldn't really see the different delay.
We could talk to him a little bit about what his thought process was as he was going through the race.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that you had grabbed the crown, but then Pillow had described to me that it's one of the best one-cycle setups that you had at that point.
I fucked up so badly because I was standing in the wrong position. I needed to move ever so slightly upwards, and I would have one cycled for sure. Wrong position, and that's why I didn't one cycle.
Right.
So it's just a slight positioning off that that kind of took that away from you.
With Crown of Guns, you need to stand in a specific spot, so the crown is pretty much inside of the dragon's heart. And if you do it like that, then you will one cycle. But I was standing ever so slightly outside of it, and so not enough bullets hit the dragon heart, and I didn't one cycle.
Right. So early in the race, keep going.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna bring it up. Go ahead. No, go.
So early in the race, you were hit by the Gatling goal. What were your thoughts as you were going through that fight and taking all that damage?
Oh my god! When I took that damage, I knew that something will go wrong this round. It was so bad. Because I even saw that shot that was gonna hit me, and I pressed the blank, but I pressed it ever so slightly too late, and then I got hit. And at that point, my heart, my BPM of my heart rose to like 220.
It
was
almost
so
looked like
close.
you were. It definitely looked like you were about to go into boss You were
Yeah, I
for a
almost
second.
died.
Were you considering restarting after taking all that damage? Or
Well, resets are not allowed in this race specifically because it's IGT and not
Mhm.
RTA
Mhm.
reset. But as well, I just wanted to continue the run because resetting would be cheap.
I think at that point we also have to think about just what do we do? For example, I know that OJ-san had actually died in the first race, and I just saw that he popped in for his interview as well. But I'll give you a second. He had died, so we probably need to discuss some of the rules, as if resetting is allowed, if it's an automatic forfeit, did not complete, or what. So what are your
Oh, I think resetting will probably not be allowed, and
specifically in the 1v1 race, or what about the 6 character race? Because I know we go by RTA in that one. So
in 6 character, I would say resetting is not allowed, but deaths are allowed because, as
okay.
earlier we discussed, deaths are basically self-inflicted time loss, as I think Pilo said. So yeah,
Right,
it's
so,
allowed in the multi-character race, but not resetting, I would say.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations on the win. Do you think this is, and one final question, do you think this is going to be a precursor to next week?
Not at all. Not at all, because next week it's gonna be a multi-character race, and Oji-san is the best of between three of us. Oji-san is the best at multi-character, so I think
Yeah.
Oji-san will take the upper hand in that race.
All right, awesome. Well, I guess I'm really hyped for next week, but so thank you for coming in, and yeah, congratulations, man.
yep.
Thanks for commentating.
Yeah, no problem. All right, OJ, can you hear us?
Well, that's CadeMofu. uh,
No, ET,
Oh.
OJ-san,
oh
the
yeah,
commentary
Jason's.
channel as well.
Hi.
Hey,
I was just
so
hearing.
yeah, it's fine. Did you real quick? We wanted to get your opinion, at least on the first race. What happened there at the end? Well, yeah.
The first weapon I picked was Polaris. And then, なんだっけ? Yeah, and bad weapon, and bad weapons. Finally, I got peak gun, BSG, at the boss of the 3rd floor, but it was too late. And I had too much curse, so the dragon was jammed.
Yeah, that was
I tried.
really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who actually stream snipes. I was looking at my phone where I had this stream open, and I saw that you got the BSG, and I was starting to think that what if it's possible for you to start catching up?
Oh, it was almost.
I expected so, but it didn't work.
The BSG really helped him catch up, but as soon as I saw that jam dragon, I knew this is gonna be a while.
Yeah.
That was too bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you did end up dying on that. So what do you think? Was those 2 pieces of curses you grabbed? Was it worth it? Getting that, I believe the ammo refill, and I believe you
okay,
bought...
it was my mistake.
Yeah.
Completely mistake.
It's actually not 2 curse, it's actually 3.5, which is even worse.
Yeah, and I had only Polaris and bad weapon only, and ammo was almost full, both of the weapons, so it wasn't completely useless.
I did not notice that your Polaris was almost full when you grabbed that extra curse. That was
yeah, and
did not pick up on that.
It was level 1
Right.
Yeah.
at that point, so
we were talking as soon as you got that Polaris drop. If you could have maintained that level 3 through most of the rest of the run, it was your race, honestly.
Yeah,
but
Polaris is
I
definitely
got
really
hit
good in
by
races.
the.
Yeah, you were. I was trying to count a little bit. You were pretty close to getting to level 3 with that thing, and I don't remember what hit you, but it was a very sad day.
Yeah. I'm looking
So
forward
were
to
you?
the next race, next 6-character race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
you.
one-
So are
Yeah.
you excited for next week?
Yeah.
Any other different strats you'll
Very
be using,
much.
or? Yeah. Yeah.
The
We're all
6-character
pretty
race
hyped
is
about it.
definitely going to be amazing.
Absolutely. So also, I think we have Nico, who was the commentator for the Japanese. Did you have anything to add about those either two races or anything?
なんて
Okay.
もう OK だって。まあ今日の2つのレースとか、まあ来週のレースとか、まあなんか言っとくことありますかと。
あ、なるほど。ああ、あるかな。来週か。来週。It's too difficult to trace 3 streamings and who is better or who will win. So train the 3 streamings. What stream is 3 streamings and who will win? I will try to explain the game.
Yeah, it was definitely easier for the two of us since there were two commentators to split the screens. At least people were watching.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I mean, we could each watch one or sometimes two. I would peek in at some of the other racers.
I'll absolutely have to check the WOD. Anyway, I think we'll be wrapping up.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we said before, that you tune in next Sunday at 1 p.m. UTC, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard, and it's gonna be an awesome race. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for watching.
Okay,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm going.
Bye.